9:30. Welcome back to ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. And next, we are going heavy metal. A new docuseries has dropped this week on Hulu, Into the Void, telling several conversational stories from the world of heavy metal.
Our executive producer, Mike DiGiorgio, is our staff metalhead, and he talked to the show's creator, who some may know for their series on wrestling called Dark Side of the Ring.
Mike found some local heavy metal connections to talk about. Here is that conversation.
Normally, you'd be talking to like good-looking anchors, and they'd have a studio set behind them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm the resident metalhead, and so they decided I'm probably the best guy to do this, and that I understand when we're throwing these symbols back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
Plus,
I like what I'm seeing over there.
we look a little alike, I think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Plus, I'll tell you, I'm a fan of Dark Side of the Ring too, so this is kind of cool for me.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Very cool. Well, we've mentioned here that I'm probably the obvious target audience. Start out for anybody who's maybe not a metalhead. What would they find to catch on to and Into the Void?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that was, for us in putting together Into the Void, one of the primary goals with the show, because we grew up as huge heavy metal fans. So, we're very familiar with these stories, and we know fans are going to be interested in it. But just like with Dark Side of the Ring, our other TV series about wrestling, we wanted to make the show accessible to people who weren't fans, primarily so they could understand the genre. Because this is a genre that, in the mainstream is often misrepresented, often misunderstood, as a genre that's been weaponized, many times over throughout the decades as well by, other groups pushing their own agendas and so on and so forth. And so we wanted to use this as an opportunity to really humanize heavy metal and to show that the artists within this genre are, completely relatable and are people just like you and me who have the same struggles and the same flaws as everybody else. And so, for us, it was really wanting to create a show where, someone who never thought they would be interested in this genre or this music would find the stories riveting and fascinating, just as if they happened in a completely other different setting. And so that's very important to us that these shows are, accessible to a broader audience base.
So for people who don't know, it's not necessarily a history of heavy metal. You found a series of stories to tell.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Oh, I was going to say that's, how we choose these episodes is we, we're, like Evan said, big fans. We've known a lot about, we knew about a lot of these stories, but we, they have to be able to, fill the length of like an hour's worth of time, and that we have the access to people who are like very intimate to the stories. That's like super important for us to have firsthand accounts. So I think like by doing that, by interviewing the family and friends of some of these legends, you get to see this other side of them that you wouldn't normally get. And that's like very important to us, is to show like the very human side to these people, and that where their art form like comes from, with heavy metal being a genre that has been often like maligned and misunderstood. I think our show does a good job of showing, where these people came from and how some of the traumas and the things that have gone in their life had made their way into their art. And I think by the way we dissect it, anyone could watch the show and relate to it. And hopefully, if you weren't a fan of metal music, you would see our show and then have like a new like appreciation for it.
Do you know, or does every episode post all at once, or they roll out like weekly?
Yeah, they're all coming out on at once on Monday, okay. September 22nd. Yep, 8 episodes.
I want to skip to one episode in particular that caught my eye. One reason I really wanted to do this. Wendy O'Williams is from here in Rochester, New York.
That's right. Yep.
She's very Rochester. Her father worked for Eastman Kodak. She went to our Eastman School of Music, etc. Anything you uncovered about her life that surprised you, that might surprise some people from here?
Yeah, I mean, the Wendy O'Williams episode is very special, to me personally. I definitely grew up as a fan of the Plasmatics and, just their loud, wild, crazy energy. but also the fact that, there was such a firm message behind everything that she did. It was very calculated. She had a lot to say about, anti-commercialism. She had a lot to say about just the way the world was in the 80s and sort of rebelling against that and being allowed, voice for that, which I think is very inspiring because we don't really have voices like that really much in music anymore. But something about her too and this episode in particular is, we were able to get, Wendy's manager, Rod. They were also, together as partners, life partners. And he's rarely ever done interviews. So this was a real peek behind the curtain in terms of the making of Wendy O'Williams and the making of the Plasmatics and putting all that together. So it's very exciting for people who are fans, as you're probably going to get to learn a lot more about, what she was doing. But again, she was such a lightning rod of controversy, and she pushed the envelope like many people do in this genre and in punk music. As you keep pushing the envelope, go to the next level to get your message out there, and eventually, the powers that be are trying to silence you, or they're threatened by, her sexuality, or they're threatened by what she's putting out into the world. And, they were literally trying to arrest her and to silence her. And I think, with a lot of the questions of things that are happening today in the world, I think it becomes a very prescient and relatable story in particular.
People don't always think of her as necessarily heavy metal. Did you find people were surprised you were taking on that story?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Plasmatics, were born out of was born out of CBGB's,
Punk for sure,
punk group, and they had the punk sound and they were incredible. But along the way, they made the pivot, with the album Coup d'etat and the albums that would, that kind of were after that. They did see the rise of heavy metal as a way, as a much larger platform. As punk was sort of weaning out of the mainstream by the early 80s, they saw metal as a new platform to get their message out. And it was exploding. By the mid 80s, metal was all over the place. So they did pivot their sound into that direction, which, gave us that, hey, that's enough of a, excuse or reason to be able to tackle someone like Wendy. But yeah, her latter half of her career was all based in the metal genre.
I want to ask you too about the Randy Rhoads episode. Timing wise, I don't know if you were able to talk to Ozzy. I know you talked to Sharon, I think I saw.
Yeah, we were able to interview Sharon. I flew out to Birmingham just a handful of days before the, Back to the Beginning show that they had. And, we had been in communication, with the Osbournes for a while during the process of making this episode, hoping to get Ozzy, but, wasn't really sure about, where his health was at, and I'm sure was just at that time very much laser focused on, his final show and everything. And so we're just so incredibly grateful to Sharon that she even took time out of her day to sit down to talk about Randy Rhoads. And that just goes to show you, how much Randy meant to her just days before this massive event. So yeah, but we did speak with her, and that story in and of itself, the tragic passing of Randy Rhoads, is something that's lived on in heavy metal lore, for so long. But to be able to hear it directly from her, because she was there the day that he tragically passed away, and hearing her relive those experiences I've never seen her talk about that in such detail. And so I think that's going to be very eye-opening for fans and people who already are familiar with that story.
I'm going to bore you guys with some Rochester trivia. The only video, maybe you used it, the only video ever shot of Ozzy and Randy together, professional video.
Oh, yeah.
That was here. That was Rochester, New York. It was at the TV studio for actually this station. We weren't in this building.
Wow.
I once almost interviewed Ozzy, and I was prepared, like I'm going to make him cry by telling him about this, and had a chance to. I met Rudy Sarzo once, and I'm told he was in town and asked to drive by the building because it meant so much to him. Just wanted to see it again.
Yeah. Legendary footage, definitely in the show. And yeah, that's amazing. Wow, I actually didn't put that together. That's incredible.
I totally got to wrap up, guys. Real quick, what would be maybe the biggest surprise? Is there anybody you interviewed that surprised you or might surprise the audience, what they were like?
I guess for me, no, I mean, for me, it's just like, you know, I grew up a huge Pantera fan, you know, when I was a kid. They were very formative to me in many ways. And I got to admit, I was very intimidated at the idea of meeting Philip Anselmo. He seemed like just kind of one of these, very scary, commanding guys. Yeah, real gruff and tough, and and he couldn't have been a nicer teddy bear, and just the most down to earth, cool guy. And we have so many common interests in terms of horror movies and non-metal music. This guy listens to the Smiths, and he listens to David Bowie's last record. Those are the things that are on his stereo. Cool. And that surprised me, and that just gave me much deeper appreciation for Philip. So yeah, that was amazing.
I'm told you guys have another interview to get right to, so I'll do the sign off after we say bye and let you get going. It's been fun, guys.
Awesome.
Best of luck with it.
Thank
you so much.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Executive producer Mike DiGiorgio conducting that interview finally has enough airtime to get his SAG-AFTRA card.
You know, I'm so glad that he did the interview.
I am.
We wouldn't have done it justice.
No, not at all.